Hello there, it's good to see you. I hope that you've enjoyed your day, that you're ready for a fantastic weekend. I'd like to welcome you to my September standouts, tips, and shout outs. I've got about 5 things that I want to share with you that have just really wowed me over the past month. So let's get into the first product because it's been not just a standout, but it's also a shout out and a tip, and that is all about the L'Oreal Infallible Shadow in Iced Latte. I'm sure you've probably heard about this. It is very, very hyped up here on YouTube for good reason. It's one of those awesome multitasking shadows, and I've been inspired to pull this out over the last about week and a half because of Ashley. You know her as Texas Mommy of Boys here on YouTube. She mentioned this as her holy grail of holy grail highlights, and I have to admit she is right. I've really enjoyed pulling this out of my collection. I've worn it on my cheekbones as an intense highlight. And if you do a couple of, not necessarily layers, but if you apply it intensely, it's like the Balm's Mary Luminizer on steroids. It's just whoosh, crazy. I've also applied it a little bit more intensely in my inner corner to give kind of a standout bright-eyed look when I like to wear my bold lips like I am right now. On my brow bone, and then I subtly apply it to the rest of my face, like on my chin, as I kind of come around the corners of my eyes to kind of frame in my face with my contouring, and then I'll, kind of adjust the intensity when I apply it to my Cupid's bow. So thank you, Ashley, for inspiring me to pull this out of my collection because I really, really love it. On to the tip. If you saw my Instagram this morning, you saw that I dropped this particular shadow all over my counter. It was a hot mess. I highly recommend if you ever drop one of these, try to salvage what you can, scoop it back into the container. It does have a spongy texture, so see if you can still use it with your brushes. You're good to go. I started to scoop mine back into my container, and then as I applied my brush into it to use it, no matter how much I tried to knock off the powder in the sink, it was still too intense to use on my face. So I thought that I would try repressing it. And I'm not really sure whether I should call this a great go or a lost cause. So when I applied the alcohol to the product, I'll show you, it still has the spongy texture. I left it open for about 25-30 minutes this morning. I probably need to leave it open a little bit longer because it does have payoff. I mean, it's not horrible. That's why I'm thinking if I let it dry a little longer, it still does have payoff. I can swipe it onto my hand. I get the powdery texture. As you can see, there's the swatch of Iced Latte on my hand. So I'm kind of keeping my fingers crossed that this isn't a lost cause. So I'll keep you posted on how the repressing goes, because I know you're not really supposed to repress them unless you have the little handle thing that comes inside of them. Otherwise, they're kind of a soft, buttery texture as it is, but we'll see how it goes. I'll keep you posted because I'm sure there are, I'm not the only one that has dropped one of these things and had the issues with it, because I really don't want to have to go out and repurchase this right now. So I'd like to see if I can salvage this. If not, I'm going to just go into my collection and find another shade that is similar and just rock that as my face highlight for a while. But I love this. If you have this in your collection, it is worth pulling out and using beyond just eyeshadow. All right, this next product I'm going to talk about is actually a drugstore find. I was watching Tati Westbrook's channel a couple of weeks ago, and I've been really wanting to try the NARS Ita brush, but I did not want to fork over the money that it cost to buy that brush. So when she talked about stumbling into the Sonia Kashuk version at Target, I had to jump onto that train and go try this brush out for myself, because these flat contouring brushes are really all the rage right now, because Tarte has their version, obviously NARS, then finding the Sonia Kashuk version, and I believe there may even be an e.l.f. version of a flat brush like this. So, it's worth looking into if you've been interested in a flat contouring brush. This was well worth the money. I have been enjoying this the past few weeks, especially for very precise contouring. I've been taking it on my Benefit Hoola bronzer and just stamping it into the sides of my cheeks and then buffing it up to have a stronger contour, but yet subtle from buffing it out. I also stamp the product into my temples and buff it out. I stamp it into the sides of my nose and buff it out, and then under my chin. And also, I wasn't really ready to put it as a standout yet because I've only tried it for a couple of days, but Marnie, or Miss Gold Girl, talked about using the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder in the shade Dim Light in particular. Let me show you this real quick. As a subtle contour. So today I went through with this Sonia Kashuk brush and again applied, I stamped it in and buffed it out all over my face as I typically would a contour, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm gonna go on and play around with this for the next few weeks and then use my Benefit Hoola as a more subtle bronze look on top because I am trying to pan it for the Finish 13 by Halloween Project Panning Challenge. So we'll see if this makes it into October's Standout Tips and Shoutouts. But definitely if you're looking for a flat brush just to try it out, see if it changes up your makeup routine, this Sonia Kashuk one is well worth the money, and then you don't have to splurge on Tarte or NARS. Then the next thing, such a fall favorite for me, it is the Clinique Cheek Pop in the shade Cola Pop. Can this say fall blush any more than this dark, like mulberry color? It looks so scary in the pan, but when I wear deep wine colors like this, I don't necessarily want to pull the orangier blush that I'm panning for my Finish 13 by Halloween. So I pulled this out of my collection and I'm absolutely loving every second of wearing it. I apply it with a very light hand with an e.l.f. blush brush to the, more back corners of my cheeks and buff it out. I'm actually wearing it on my cheeks today, and the lip I'm wearing is Urban Decay's Venom with the accompanying lip liner. They pair wonderfully together. So if you're looking for a fall blush, you want to go with kind of the 90s vibe, check out Cola Pop from Clinique. I actually bought this, I think I bought this in the spring VIB sale at Sephora. Either that or maybe I bought it at Christmas. But I broke my no-buy for this blush, and it was so worth it because I find myself reaching for this regularly when I'm not trying to pan, because when I wear my red lipstick that I'm trying to pan, I wear that orange blush. But whenever I want to wear the Deep Berry or some of my other Deep Berry lipsticks, when I want to wear purples and wines and things like that, this is beautiful. And actually, I'm going to have a Get Ready With Me coming up that is inspired by Tanya Burr. She used her personal eyeshadow collection to kind of highlight the products in there, but this blush pairs beautifully with that look. So you'll see that coming up in the next Get Ready With Me. Then the fourth product I want to talk about is an old favorite nail polish. It is from OPI, and the color is called How Great Is Your Dane. I actually had to take this off yesterday just to kind of give my nails a break, but this is a beautiful brown taupey color. It is so perfect for fall. It actually goes on more of like almost a gray, a brown gray. It's like a very, it almost screams a masculine color, but it's very like just, it says fall. It absolutely says fall. I wore this on my Instagram when I first painted my nails. I think it was like the beginning of last week. It lasted a week, so I wanted to kind of give my nails a break, and then I'm going to go on and repolish them tomorrow. So you'll see this in upcoming Get Ready With Me's on my nails. But if you have How Great Is Your Dane in your collection, it is so worth pulling out and wearing, because you talk about a rediscovered favorite. This is going to be a polished color that I'm wearing on a regular basis now that we're jumping into cooler weather. Well, semi-cooler, since I'm down in Houston. And the last product was actually a hairbrush. I stumbled on this when I went into Ulta. I was actually looking for another really stiff boar bristle brush, because if you're following me on Instagram, you know that I'm in the process of transitioning my hair to not washing it near as often. And one of the things that you want to make sure you have is a really stiff boar bristle brush to really loosen up anything that's on your scalp, to brush it through the rest of your hair, and that way you don't have gunky looking hair. I wanted something really, really stiff, even stiffer than my current boar bristle brush, because I want to stimulate my scalp, get my hair to grow. And so when I was walking around Ulta in the hair section, they have a brand called Olivia Garden, which I've heard fantastic reviews. If you want great quality made hair brushes, they've gotten great reviews via the internet. My hairdresser has recommended them. But what caught my attention was this brush in particular is made out of bamboo. The bristles are super, super stiff, and when I run it through my scalp, it literally feels like I am massaging everything. It is so nice just to feel like I'm getting everything off of my scalp, and then I follow through with my boar bristle brush to brush it through to the ends. This particular brush, if you want to go look in your Ulta, is called the Ionic Massage Brush for Healthy Hair by Olivia Garden. I don't know how well they stock these, because when I saw this on the, the hairbrush area, there were only 2 out on display. So definitely worth if you want to stimulate your hair, if you're trying to grow it, or if you're trying to extend your hair washings to 2 and 3 days, maybe you're up to a week, maybe you're doing like me and you're going a little bit more long term. This was a great investment, and I believe this was about $10, if not a little bit cheaper from what I remember. It was not an expensive hairbrush, and it has been such an asset to me to just make my hair feel so good, because my scalp, I get that blood flowing and I just feel like I've loosened everything up. It is so incredible. So that's it for the month. Those are the things that really have just wowed me. I'm looking forward to what's going to stand out in October. So thank you for taking the time to watch this. Be on the lookout. I've got lots of content coming your way. I mean, I have so many get ready with me's that I want to get in the works. I've got a 13 by Halloween update coming up, and an I'm on a no buy update, and I just got to get cracking on filming, because I feel like it's, now I understand the pressure of like having so much to do and film, and it takes a lot of time to get all the editing and stuff done. So thank you for being patient with me. Enjoy your weekend, and I will be seeing you very, very soon. Catch you later.